Good morning.
Hey guys, is Harrison back? Yeah? That's a no.
So these people have been here since Tuesday.
They must have thought it was a different Mark. Just kidding. I love him.
They were Kane and Sheppard earlier.
10:34.
So
It starts.
I went outside of my normal all black because I was in New York with Jen and Tom this last week. And Tom has this in white, and we ended up going to a shoe store in New York, and they had the same sweaters he had. So he's like, yeah. I'm gonna start sweating. So I'm gonna be like 40 pounds by the end of this talk.
That's how you do this. This is true acting sportsmanship, right? You gotta make sure like I'm cutting weight while talking to you. Like it's a whole plan. Genius. This is what I want. I need to be like that. Guys, thank y'all for joining us today. You could have been literally anywhere in the world, so we're super glad that you're here with us. You guys are a part of this teeny tiny little event show called Supernatural. I don't know if they've heard of it. Little small type thing. And actually, where's Silver at? Where's my friend Silver? Yeah, there's Silver. We were talking earlier, and I totally had this question lined up, so it was perfect, locked in. Plot is what happens in the story, right?
I think so. Yeah.
But the story is really built on emotion. So, for you guys, from your perspective, what is Supernatural about?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's right. You started making fun of Mark. You started making fun of Mark. I had to go high. That's what we did.
God, that's a great question.
Thank you.
Silver, fuck you, man. You couldn't wait till like 4 p.m.?
Nah.
Love you. For me, Supernatural was obviously over 327 episodes about a lot of things. I think the through line, and this I've taken with me personally as Jared, is shit happens. Life doesn't go the way you think it will. Yeah, you're laughing too. Yeah. We've all learned that the hard way. But I get by with a little help from my friends, and my SPN family, our SPN family. And so it's kind of about, I've said this before about different things, but it's about keeping fighting until you finally understand what you're fighting for. And taking note along the way. So, Sam and Dean and even Crowley, all of us, Charlie, everybody, Rowena, we're searching for something until the meaning revealed itself. There's a great quote that I love. Everybody lives 2 lives. The more important one doesn't start until you realize you only live one.
Wow.
So, I stole that, but thank you, I'll take it.
Hey, listen.
Peace.
It's Sunday morning, that was church. I needed that one. That was good. Yes. Mark, from Crowley's point of view.
The endless search for lunch.
Man's gotta eat. I love that.
It's, you know what it is? I'm thinking about it, it's a great question, but I think it has a lot to do with fear and the dissipation of fear and facing fear. And I think the struggles that we have, because the opposite of fear is love. And I think the themes, and the opposite of love is not hate, the opposite of love is fear. So these people are put into fear circumstances, fear of family losing,
right.
The changing circumstances of all these characters, incredible characters over the years. And a lot of the motivation is fear, and it's conquering those fears and discovering that love is the answer.
I love that.
By the way,
I think we all understood that one.
It was funny, is last night, Cliff and I had dinner with our buddy Jim Michaels, who was a producer on Supernatural, and Phil Segresha, who was a producer, EP, director, did Yellow Fever, did an episode called Sacrifice, and he's directing me, Jensen, and Misha in The Boys. Yeah, y'all clap. I have to get naked. I don't know yet.
Viewership just went way up just now.
I don't know yet.
it's not in the script.
But that's why. But That's why I'm weight cutting. Yeah, that's why I'm like water depleting.
Genius!
But we talked about, because Phil directed the season finale of season 8, where he and I are there and finishing the trials, and it's one of my fondest memories of shooting the show over 15 years. And this dude was a friggin' gangster, badass. He's chained up, and I don't know if he's into BDSM or something. But they were like, "Hey,
It's
Mark,
Crowley, for God's sake. That's just Wednesday.
the helpers were all like, "Hey, Mark, we can untie you." He's like, "No, I'm good. I'll stay here." So it all worked out. And I'm not gonna go where I was just gonna go. But yeah, it's a moment, a 3-day moment. I hope.
It's the most codifying thing of the whole series for me, because when you work with a group of people day in, day out, there's never enough time, there's never enough money. You're trying to make the best thing you can make, and everybody is working at their best, at their top, to try to just get this story out. Right? This is what we're trying to do. And normally when you shoot a television show, you shoot the beginning on a Wednesday, the end on the Tuesday, but something else happens on the Thursday and has no relationship to it, because it's based on where you need to shoot more than why you need to shoot. And the whole end of the season 8 finale is very particular. It's in order, and Phil made a decision to shoot that entire section sequentially, one after the other, absolutely, which is very rare for us. That is a very rare thing. So we got to build something, and we got to work in something, and the most beautiful thing of that, the most cathartic thing, was every member of the crew, every person that we work with was supporting that, because it was hard work, it was dark work, and it meant something to the story too. It meant something to the plot, as you originally said. It's a very sort of pivotal time in the Supernatural story. And what was magic was, they have to do stuff between action and cut, be quiet, but after cuts, they have to move stuff, they have to do things. They were silent for 2 days. Wow. Not a sound out of them for 2 days, because we were doing big stuff. And for me, that showed me just who they were, which is we do what we do, we love what we do, and we get serious, and we also mess about, but we get serious and it's hard work. But to have every single person going, "No, we're here for you. This is what we're going to do. We're going to give you a safe space to play in, and let's see how far we can take this."
Amen.
That's great. I think we can comfortably say that Supernatural has created an obsession amongst its fans. Yes?
I don't know, man.
That's not quite yes.
It's a weird thing, because look, it's like the word fan is fanatic, right? It's not a good word.
Well,
George Santayana quote is, "A fanatic is one who redoubles his effort when he's lost sight of his aim." Wow. And that's not what the Supernatural family is.
It's too early for your British bullshit.
That's a Mexican-American skeptic philosopher. But I'll go slowly, don't worry.
Yeah.
Please.
But that's the truth of this. It's like we were trying to find a collective name, and this was going on for years. And the reason why we settled on Supernatural Family is primarily, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, is that it's the way you guys treat each other more than anything else.
True.
We have causes, we have things we believe in, and you guys would come in and just make this 1,000,000 times bigger and make it 1,000,000 times stronger. I mean, the greatest place to ever have a panic attack in your entire life is at a Supernatural convention.
Listen.
Because you've got 150 people. 150 people, you're like, we got you. And then somebody will go, "Everybody stand back."
I'm gonna translate that into Americanadian. We fucking love y'all.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. The nature of obsession, the nature of fanaticism is a derisory term created by people who don't understand what it is to truly love something and truly get something from. And it's kind of an outside jealousy. You're right, absolutely right. And they're going, "Oh, fans. Oh, we might as well all be furries and or 501.
Wait, you're
501 stores.
You're not a furry?
BDSM?
I need a show. Yes, well, my BDSM stories. But that's, it's a really...
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's a really big deal for me. It's a really big deal. The way you guys treat each other is akin to a family, to an open family with open arms to welcome people in. To call that fanaticism or obsession, is, I think, derisory. I think the truth is nobody ever saw anything quite like this.
That's amazing. And there are a few crazy uncles.
Yeah,
I mean,
You gotta have that.
we love Twitter, X, whatever it's called. Yeah, there are a few angry people, but no, I do to use obsession not as derisory or as a pejorative. I'm obsessed with a lot of things. Sports teams and bands,
of course,
and places.
What are some of your passions? That's what we'll call it.
Exactly what I was going to say. It's about passion and love,
Yeah.
not obsession, and something that you could denote to something being wrong with it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I think
But
that's
if
a
it's
big
wrong,
deal.
I don't want to be right. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah, are there any shows that you guys feel that passionate about, that you've experienced or just like watched and been a fan of, that we can now join in the family watching?
Bluey.
That's a movie.
Yeah, I think the majority of my last 12 years have been watching whatever the kids watch. But I certainly remember, and I'm going to say this, I think I might have said something adjacent one time, but I think one of the reasons I wanted to become an actor was because of Home Improvement.
Let's go.
I'm not even kidding. All the girls had like Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Of course they did.
Folders and stuff. And they're like, he's so cute, JTT. I was like, well, I'm JTP.
You kind of have the hair right now.
I know. I didn't have the hair then, though.
Yeah.
Now I have the hair. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they'll cut it for the boys or something. It's not my choice. Give me a break.
It's for the money. It's gotta go for the money, y'all. He gets to donate the hair. Like that's. Yeah.
I can get a longer wig.
Especially Misha.
Hello?
And then he
What is this,
touched my
parcel?
Imagine.
There we go. So Crippy is big with music in terms of storytelling as well. And obviously it played a big part in some of the storytelling flow of Supernatural. Was that stuff that they told you during the production, or was it all post that the music really kind of took shape?
They all are. I mean, so Phil's a massive music fan.
Yes.
Bob's a massive music fan. But their genres all sort of collide into classic rock.
Yeah.
And so it's an era that supports the music that they
Right.
love, and they went dipped into that.
Yeah, and I'll say this as well, and this is maybe boring, never how the sausage is made kind of thing, but there would be in scripts, cue Stairway to Heaven.
Okay.
But Stairway to Heaven costs $500,000. So it'd be like, well, how about Mark Sheppard singing in a hall? So one of the through lines from the get was the classic rock. And Crippy famously tells a story about he was trying to figure out, like, he's not a car guy, so he called his buddy who's a car guy.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, what should the boys drive? He's like, Impala. Put a dead body in the trunk. Literally. And so there were things along the way that, one of the wonderful things and terrible things about shooting TV is you have a budget, And so there were many times, and thank God Kansas was up to play.
Yes.
Because they were also too expensive for us to afford them, but they were like, hell yeah, use it, carry on.
That's awesome.
Yeah, go Kansas.
Was there a particular scene that used a particular song that was one of your favorites?
Yes.
Talk to me. Tell me what it is.
I forget the episode, Fight the Fairies, David Bowie.
Great song.
Great song. Styx Renegade.
Yeah.
That was a pretty
When death appears.
Oh my God.
When there's a shot. Remember Tim? Remember Tim, the Steadicam operator? Well, there's two shots. There were two one-er shots that were done on Steadicam that come off the 1959 Cadillac Bubbleback that Death was driving. And you know what his license plate was? Because in the first shot they came off the license plate, which is the greatest license plate I've ever seen.
Phil Secretion?
Yeah. B-U...
Maybe y'all know. He doesn't know.
B-U-B-B BYE. Bye-bye.
Wow.
That was Dad's car.
That's
And
one of my favorite
that
ever
choral.
when he bumps into the
Oh,
guy.
and the guy goes down.
Falls.
Where we're shooting the backlot, the backlot for Chicago, which was mind-blowing to me. It's literally giant fans and fake L-train pillars. We're like walking into the wind. It was so cool, man. I was like, this show is really cool.
Carry On for sure. And for those who haven't seen the series, I'm not gonna ruin it, but the acapella Carry On and that gets me every time. I'm like, fuck off. I was there and I still cried.
No, that's fair. That's fair. With the show that has run as long as it did and has as much of a range, there are a lot of things that changed from concept to execution. And I wonder how you guys would feel if some of these things did stay in place. One that I read about was your girlfriend Jessica being a demon as opposed to being killed. How do you think that would have changed things? Or Dean being a serial killer, how would that?
You eat a lot of.
I mean,
You eat a lot of cereal, dude.
I mean, you can tally up the beings he's killed. I think he qualified. I think I qualified. He qualified for sure. There were so many things. I'll use this as for instance. We had an actress in season 4 who was supposed to be in 3 episodes. She's now watching my children.
Hey!
Along the way, and that's how TV goes often, is, you know, the first couple episodes are written. We have an idea of how the season's going to go. And then maybe someone, I think you were supposed to do 1 episode or something. You know, Jesus. That would have been a happier life for me. But,
Wow!
I'm used to this, guys. I'm totally used to it.
He says with love.
But I think along the way, the writers and great writers, to their credit, they watch what's going on and they're like, wait, these people have chemistry. This person fits. Right. Let's put them back in. Same with Felicia Day. Like I can put on the list.
Charlie's amazing.
Yeah. So I think along the list, I don't envy writers, especially television writers, because they're bobbing and weaving the entire time. It's like they're driving an F1 car or something. Okay, now we're okay. Well, that's actually let's go here. Let's go here. And so we don't have enough time in our life to talk about everything that changed along the way, for the better and for the worse. Not for the worse, for the better and just
for the best.
There's
for the better and the best.
There's a weird thing about, like, because Kripke was like 5 seasons at the beginning, middle, and end, right? And then Sarah came in and had to re-steer a ship that was supposedly, you know, done into a place where you could continue, which I think is the hardest thing ever had to do. And season 6 I love. You got the most amazing episodes in season 6, which is really, it's strange to go, well, actually it was supposed to end in an apocalypse at the end of 5. How do you keep going and make it worthy of the characters and the story? And I think she did an amazing job doing that in 6. 7, I think 7 was the greatest season 12 that should have been done as season 12, because it was very serialized. Right. It was a through line of, Dick, basically.
Roman.
Yeah, and it was just it was continuous. And then Jeremy came back and went, Angels and Demons, dude. That was it. So there is this underlying thing of not only changes in our characters, right, but the writers genuinely trying to find a genuine storyline, a real thing that we want to go down this path. I didn't know whether Crowley was an angel or not. I'm being serious. Because I had a long conversation early on. I go, look, please don't do demon eyes. And this is a little conspiracy we had for a long time, and we had no demon eyes on me for years. Right. To the point it was fascinating. And I was like, because I could be anything. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Crowley's Crowley, but it doesn't matter what Crowley is. But if you need to move him in our supernatural verse, it's possible. And then Jeremy calls me one day and goes, dude, you're getting demon eyes. I'm like, okay. I said, but you're getting very good demon eyes. Yeah. And so I get the red eyes. Yeah, you get the red eyes. You get smoke in your eyes. I'm like, okay, I'll take that. That could be something. But those are the beautiful, precious through things that we do. Week to week, day to day, story to story, things change. but the evolution over series is what is fantastic. And watching these guys, where the brother story changes, it's not the same thing over and over again. It's this push and pull, and
Right.
who's going where, and it was handled, I think, so carefully, and that's why we like it.
Absolutely.
And here's a funny thing also, maybe some of y'all heard this, maybe some of not. Kripke told me one time, I think season 4, he did an interview with Entertainment Weekly, and we were just picked up for season 4, about to start filming, and he mentioned, like in passing, and he's hilarious, he's like, yeah, you know, I've just always had this vision of a 5-year show, and this and that, because he was thinking, like, I want to get picked up for season 5.
Right.
He got called by Warner Brothers, and they're like, shut the fuck up. we'll decide if it goes 5 or 10 or 15. So he was like, shit, I'll just do that to like hint that I want another date. I'm not saying this is it. But yeah, when Sarah came in, I remember between season 5 and 6, I was in LA for some reason. And I went to the writer's room, and Sarah was now the showrunner. And I brought like a bottle of Pinot Noir or whatever. And I sit down, and I'm like, hey, so Sam's kind of Lucifer, kind of in hell with his brother. What are we thinking for season 6? And she goes, get this. So, you're gonna come back. You're gonna come back soulless.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what that means. So, and luckily fortunately I had some, couple of weeks or a couple of months to work on that characterization. This was Jeremy, Andrew,
It's a hell of a thing to steer a ship.
Of course.
That has so much opinion behind it.
Yes,
You know?
yes,
We can never make everybody happy. But if we
I can.
But it's a thing. It's a very poignant thing. It's the way that every single person works on that show who cared about that show.
Yeah.
It shows.
Absolutely.
It shows in the product because we're not just let's just do this, let's just do that. It's about trying to find the magic and keep the magic and drive the magic forwards, which I think is fantastic. I love that. I love it.
Now, to that end, as actors, having this great experience with this show and all the production behind it, what do you take away as kind of like your benchmarks now? You've experienced something so phenomenal. Is that kind of a bar for you? Any product that you take on now has to kind of match that?
You know what's funny is my son asked me that question this last week.
He called me and he told me to ask you again. He didn't like your answer.
Between
Yeah.
silver and no, you know what's funny is that much to one of the earlier questions and answers about keep fighting until you realize what you're fighting for, I don't ever remember in the 15 years in Vancouver doing Supernatural thinking like, yeah, we're doing some cool shit. I just woke up, did what the day required, and went to bed. You know, so I think there's another saying I heard, and success is a weird word, but like success is what happens when you don't realize it. Like I don't go back and think of like, oh yeah, I remember making like for a long time, and kudos to y'all and to our SB family entirely, we were a bubble show.
Gotcha.
Like I said, season 4,
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, we just need season 5, thinking like, shit, I hope we go season 5.
Please.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that didn't happen for a long time. And we were in Vancouver, we weren't in LA, like going to red carpets and parties and stuff. And so we would just get up, go to work, do the best job we could that day. It was kind of about like day in, day out, trying to do your level best. And then now we're here. Now, after 5 years outside of it, I'm starting to realize, like, oh yeah, that's some cool shit. So thank y'all for convincing me that.
James and I we were talking about, we're in Paris, remember we were in Paris? And we were talking about when the 4 of us sort of became a unit, and it was around exactly those thing, the Nerd HQ panel we did. He didn't want to do it on his own, so we crashed it. So it was really, and I've suddenly realized something. Unlike a lot of other shows, what we had that nobody else had is we had Hall H.
Mm-hmm.
We had Hall H at a very pivotal time in the show, and we would go to Hall H, and we got to see our audience, which you never see in TV, right? We were doing conventions. We were with our audience, with the Supernatural family, and tight from those early days, and it grew together. And I don't think every other show has that.
Not at all.
And I think that was the major difference, is that we would go to Hall H and, you know, Misha's buying pizza for 6,000 people. but phenomenal things like the candles. Remember? I mean, I remember your face. I remember your face when you were like, oh shit. It was just like,
It didn't make sense to me.
no, but I think that was the phenomenon. I just thought of that. I think it's literally, that's what the difference was, is we were with our audience very early.
Yeah. This, to his point, I think, like, I realize we're on stage, but I feel like I'm with y'all. I'm not, like, it's a weird, being a TV actor is interesting because we're in your homes, you know? Like, if you're a movie star, then someone pays $10 for a ticket, or maybe it's $15 now, to go drive to a theater. 20? Oh, yeah.
He's a little out of touch, don't worry.
Those are pre-COVID prices.
Again, I only watch Bluey these days. In Canadian money, it's like $20, so like 3 cents American. Kidding. Too soon. Kidding. But I
You've
mean,
been
like,
making that joke since 1993, trust me.
if you're gonna go watch like Denzel Washington, you know, you make a plan to drive there on time, to pay for parking, to pay for this, and everybody sits looking somewhere. I always felt, especially with the Supernatural family, that it's like us. It's like same with AKF. I'm like, it's not me, it's us. Like I'm one spoke in the wheel. You know, we're one spoke in the wheel. So just appreciate you guys and growing alongside y'all. We would never have had 15 seasons if it weren't for y'all. So thank you.
So, we got a couple of questions that turned in here. So, bit here. This one's for you, Jared. Sam's journey in Supernatural is full of challenges, from dealing with the loss of loved ones to confronting his own internal struggles. What was the most emotionally challenging moment for you while portraying Sam?
Wow, what time is it? Jesus.
Yeah. It's 11 o'clock. We're
Coming hot. I have a gut feeling.
Okay.
It was all the times that Sam and Dean were at odds. You know, I remember like Sacrifice season 8 when he comes in and Sam is saying, I thought about letting you go. Like that kind of stuff is hard. There was a scene, I forget which, I think it was like season 12 or 13, and Sam is just laying into Dean. We're outside of like an insane asylum or something by the Impala, and I could not remember my lines. I couldn't, and I don't fuck around, pardon French, but I usually know everybody's lines by the time I film, and for some reason my brain just wouldn't let me rip into it. And I went home. Who was directing? Tom Wright. Yeah, Tom Wright was directing. And I went home and got myself asleep. I was so disappointed in myself. And then I had fans come up and people say like, dude, that was my favorite scene I've seen. But for me, in the moment, for Jared, like I couldn't bring myself to do it. Obviously, Carry On was really freaking hard. But yeah, thanks man. This isn't helping.
Yeah, well,
This is for my son, so I told him I'd wear it, but it was warm. Yeah, I think when Sam and Dean were at odds, it was really difficult.
yeah. Well said. Make some noise for that. Paolo was such a unique and layered character, constantly shifting between antagonist and ally. What did you enjoy most about playing him, and how did you approach making him so unpredictable?
Good question.
Right?
I think the actual answer is, there's a piece of Crowley that goes, if these idiots would just do what I told them to do, everything would be fine. And yet, underneath that, there was a massive dissatisfaction with getting his own way. There was a massive, dark thing. So the Demon Dean, so massively disappointing in its reality, because okay, I can do that. Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? Until we get to a point of going, it's the most boring job in the universe, which is what Crowley's position was. I think people mistook that as me getting up in the morning, but no, it wasn't. It was this struggle of like arguing with Lucifer and going, why am I arguing? Why am I even doing this? Why is Crowley going, I've done this. Managing 6 billion people in a line that look like a convention line. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my time. When Ben wrote that, And then we had all these extras in a line, and there was like, now serving 6,412,000. And the guy pulls the thing out and says, 4. They all moved one step forward. I was like, he kind of wanted something, but he never knew what he wanted.
Right.
He just knew that wasn't it. And all he really wanted was to be loved, and all he really wanted was to be part of.
Right.
And somebody asked me once, he goes, why do you think that, what's the name of the stupid one in the code? Castiel. Steve. Steve, right. Why do they love Castiel and Crowley? And it's that Castiel and Crowley love the Winchesters. The whole point of Supernatural, all my love to all the trials and the spin-offs and the things that everyone tries to do. We watch Supernatural, and I watch Supernatural because I care about the boys. And what happens is Castiel is incredibly stupid, never learns anything in 77 seasons that he's in, still saying the same shit. The guy gets dumber every year, which is a brilliant foil. It is a brilliant foil, but he loves the boys, and I, as Crowley, love the boys. And it's you guys living vicariously through us loving the boys that makes Crowley and Castiel so popular. I don't know why he's popular, but
Cool code.
Yeah, it is a cool code. For both of you, Supernatural is known for its blend of horror, humor, and drama. How did you find the balance between the intense emotional moments and the comedic scenes, especially given how heavy the show can get at times?
Yeah, watch the gag reels. I think sci-fi is so wonderful because you can do anything. You can explore anything. I've been a big fan of horror and sci-fi and thrillers my entire life, my entire childhood. I love it because you can explore things. Like on Gilmore Girls, you're not going to be talking to Satan.
I mean,
you're not going to be Satan.
Well, also true.
Yeah, maybe season whatever the next reboot. That's what I'm useful. Because the real deep, OGD. But we were able to explore these real. Hey, buddy, you're soulless next season.
Right.
Like as an actor, like what a cool exercise. It's like, hey, you're gonna climb Mount Everest and then you're gonna rappel down. Like I don't know how to do that. I guess I'll try it. And so we were able to explore a lot of things, but there were obviously, I think most every episode something dies. So it was pretty heavy, which is why I think infamously we have such great outtakes and we had such a great time. But you need like a pressure release valve.
Yes.
Like the tea is steeping, make sure the thing is open so the steam can come out when it needs to. And so I think we've let that in. And again, what I was saying earlier about writers, they were able to see Jensen, who has phenomenal comedic timing. He's a great actor, great guy, seen tonight. But he has amazing comedic prowess. And so them playing the dean of like, here I am, I'm bow-legged. Jumping into my arms because he's scared of a cat. Was like the juxtaposition, the dichotomy of these characters, and Sam, who's very kind of intellectual, studious, kind of being put out of sorts, like Bad Day Black Rock or something. Right. It was just a great. It's the juxtaposition. It's like look over here and here this comes. Right. And so kudos for writers. Yeah.
You just let something slip that the whole room just kind of gasped about. And so I got you. And so I'm going to kind of parlay this into kind of a, not spoiler, because we don't do that around here, but is...
If you don't want to know the score, don't go down to the pub.
I like that.
I'll go to American-Canadian, cover your ears.
Friends, Romans, Canadians, cover your ears.
Would you say that this appearance that is on the upcoming season of The Boys is officially, unofficially Supernatural Season 16?
Well, I know it, so probably is.
Whoa! You say you're not in it, but we haven't seen it yet. I refuse to believe until it's over. It's not over.
Fair. I am afraid that Jeff Bezos will come rappelling down.
I did, yeah. No. No spoilers.
because he owns Amazon.
No spoilers.
But no, it's not. It's going to be great. I don't know exactly what's going on yet.
Right.
It's still terrifying.
Yeah, good.
For those who have seen The Boys, who don't know what you're doing yet, yeah, good for you. You good for you. We've all seen Rob's scenes, and you know. So even before the contract was signed, I was like, "Hey, Mom, I'm gonna be doing something. Don't watch it.
I don't know what it is.
I love you, miss you, but like, just don't watch it. Don't watch it. I'm gonna go like into her iPad and delete Amazon Prime, so she can't watch it. Locker.
Bezos heard you say that.
Exactly.
You're gonna do what?
I'm gonna be like zapped out of here. No, we're gonna go have fun.
Good.
It's been announced that Jensen and Misha and I are all gonna be sharing screen together. But to the other part of your question, I still deeply want to and believe that we will do another supernatural story. If anybody would watch it.
I think we have volunteers. I think we do. I think we have some folks here. Guys, I have to say thank you so very much, not just for your time here on the stage, but for the characterizations, the stories that you all have brought to life, because I think it speaks to everyone in some capacity in its truth and authenticity. And there's something about all of you that we do feel that passion for that I think is genuine and deserved. So thank you so very much. Guys, join me one more time for making Sue showing all the love to